Courtney, I need to talk to you for a second. Come with me. Okay, I guess we can just do this right here. Anyway, look, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't serious.
Aren't you the host of the show and have to be here?
Don't worry about that. Listen, I got a call and your ex-boyfriend Stephen Fishback is in the hospital, okay? It seems he hurt himself chopping some wood. Wait, getting an update. Actually, it looks like it was some sort of bizarre slip and slide accident. So wait, getting another update. Actually, it appears he drowned in a river of his own tears. So we probably should get to him immediately. I think you should come with me.
Why?
Well, to make fun of him.
Oh, okay. Do you want to talk to Terry first?
Oh, Terry, right. Yes, good point. Well, how about we talk to Terry and then we go make fun of Stephen?
Okay, definitely.
Yes! Terry, what everyone wants to know after watching this episode of Survivor, beyond what happened on the beach, and we'll get to that, is how your son Danny is doing, how your whole family is doing. I know he had a heart transplant in September. Why don't you give us the update?
Danny is doing really well, and I can't thank y'all enough out there for the prayers and support. He's doing PT a couple times a week, walking a couple of miles a day. He's getting tutored. He's hanging out with his girlfriend. He goes down and throws the ball with his football team about once a week, and Friday night lights and all that stuff. And he's actually back driving, so kind of scary. But yeah, things are going really well. He has no immune system right now, so basically he's got to stay away from a lot of people in certain areas. But he'll be back to school second semester, and everything's on track right now. So we're super hopeful that this all continues to go. It's a great start to a long journey.
That's fantastic news. I mean, that's what, first and foremost, that's what everyone wants to hear. Now let's get a little bit into how you found out. Obviously, it's middle of the night. It's 1 a.m. or something in the morning. And you see Jeff Probst walking up the beach. Never a good sign. Tell us about everything that happened there and what you're thinking as he approaches.
The fans and everybody know that when Jeff shows up, it's never good news. And so he wrangles me out of the hooch and took me down the beach about 100 yards. And the whole time down there, I've got an 85-year-old mom and mother-in-law, and I think it was something with them. And then the minute he says, it's something with Danny. And again, he doesn't have a lot of detail with HIPAA rules and everything else he can't put out there on TV. And so he can't tell me anything more than that. And so in my mind, Danny just got his driver's license. I'm thinking, well, God, he might have had a car wreck or whatever. But it's like Andrew Savage said, our families back us up to do this. We don't just go off on our own and do Survivor. And without our family, and if somebody's injured from our family or sick, game over. Now we're back in the real world. And in my case, it turns out I need to go back and help as best I can to give Danny a second chance at life. And so it was pretty crazy. I didn't know a lot of detail, but I knew enough that my game was over. As you saw, I went back to the hooch and gave everybody a big hug and then off to the races. It was like planes, trains, and automobiles at that point. I can't thank Jeff and the entire Survivor team, working to get me home. I think there was 3 or 4 boat rides, 4-hour SUV ride, a 3-hour flight to Hong Kong, a 16-hour flight to Boston. There's a limo waiting for us on the other side and whisked us over to Boston Children's Hospital. And Dr. Eliza accompanied me the whole way. It was amazing. I mean, it was a logistical feat to have that happen.
Unbelievable news. And I mean, obviously you had no interest in even thinking about staying in that game for obvious reasons. You knew you had to get out of there. And we're so happy to hear everything's going well. Do you play the what if game at all? It's natural to do that no matter what the circumstance. And I know you're a competitive guy, and I'm not saying you're second guessing what you did. Obviously not. But is there a little corner of you that's playing the what if game in terms of I wonder how I would have done had I stayed?
Because you were in a good spot, right?
To be honest with you, all right, so I'm an old guy. I don't have a lot of brain cells left anyway, but I seriously did not project myself further in the game. It's not like productive. It wasn't like last time where there was a lot of 20/20 hindsight where I should have given Shane the hidden immunity idol. I should have done this. I should have done that. But, that was over. To be honest with you, there was so much going on over the 79 days when Danny was in the hospital that we were playing Survivor with real life with Danny, and there was some really highs and really bad lows, and again, I don't have the brain power to go back over all that. I did after Jeremy came home. He came home to Boston, and he and Val and the kids came over to visit, and everybody reached out to me. So almost everybody has reached out wholeheartedly to see how Danny's doing, and hey Deitz, how you doing? Hey, I'm doing fine. How's your kid? How's Danny good? So having the whole Survivor family there, it's great.
It's amazing how Terry says, your emotions are so amplified when you're out there, right? You haven't eaten, you haven't slept, that that things can really, even if it's not to you personally, it can get to you, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, especially something that's coming from outside the game, I think is always even more emotional for people. Like on anything to do with like family visits or letters from home, people just lose it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's like an okay time to show emotion too. You're like, oh, okay, we can cry now.
It must have been interesting though, because you thought you were pretty good out there. I mean, you thought you liked your new group after the tribe swap. Okay, I want to get your answer first, but when I have Courtney guess. Courtney, when Terry went down to Abby, and Abby's depressed, and everyone's shunned her, and no one's talking to her, and Terry Deitz, who's at the bottom end of the totem pole at that point, and he goes up to lend her an ear, and that big Terry Deitz shoulder. How much of that do you think was genuine concern for a human being, and how much of it was strategy? What do you think?
I think I'm going to give you 40% genuine concern, because you're a nice guy, and then maybe 60% strategy.
She's going 40-60, Deitz. How close is she?
All right. So Dalton, I've told you this before. Did we tell her?
Yeah.
All right. So Courtney, here's the deal. We all fell asleep in the hooch. I had my run-ins with Abby at that point.
Shocking.
One or two that you don't even see on TV. So, but before in the afternoon, I was like, Abby, let's agree to disagree, but I want to shake hands with you because you never know when we might work together. All right? If they put that on TV, it would have been crazy. But I looked down on the beach. She's still down there, and she's crying, and she's upset. And so for the next hour, I went down there, and we consoled, and we talked about stars. We talked about everything but the game to try to get her mind off of it. And I'm like, you know what? What happened to her? Abby is Abby, but that's bullshit. That shouldn't happen to a human being, and they shouldn't be left alone on an island in Cambodia by themselves. After about 1 hour, I went back up to the shelter to go back to sleep. And as I stepped into the shelter, I could hear my wife Trish going, you know what? You need to play that social game a little more. And I turned around and I went back down and I said, hey, are you willing to channel your Sandra Diaz Twine and kick some ass? And she's like, yeah, let's do this. And for the next hour, we talked about strategy. And it worked. It really did. And then about halfway through the conversation, Varner came down and slept on the beach. And like he said before, and you saw on TV, he and Abby finalized the deal in the morning. I don't know. If kind of on the humanitarian side, had I not done that, it would have never happened and I would have been gone. So it was just a lucky situation. And I felt for Abby. And so that's it.
I knew it.
Terry, we know you got to run, but if people want to get more information about Danny or how they can help, how can they go about that?
All right, bostonchildrens.org/Danny Strong. The fund is up. You can go check out his story. He's a beautiful kid, and we are blessed to have him back. And I can't say enough to everyone out there, thank you so much for the prayers, positive energy, and support. And to know that Dalton has been there the whole time as well, since I was off the beach, getting in touch with me and making that happen. And you guys have no idea what that support means to me and my family and to Danny. Thank you so much.
All right, Terry, we're going to make sure to do it. We'll never know how you would have done in Survivor Cambodia, but we know the most important thing. You're a great guy and you're a great dad. So congratulations on that, sir. And we didn't put the loser photo up. Usually we have a picture surrounded by the words loser. We gave a blank page.
Softy.
I know, I'm going a little soft serve in my old age here, but we did not give you the loser photo this week.
Well, I told you before I went on the show, we were all losers, right? That's why we're back on the show.
Well,
fair point. All right, Terry, thanks, man. We'll talk soon.
See you, Bye.
Bye-bye, guys. Let's go make fun of Steven.
awesome.